If you've ever worked in fast food, you already know how strange the training materials can be. Everyone's smiling, everything's colorful, and the actors deliver their lines with this hollow cheer that nobody in the real world has. But the tape I found wasn't strange in the usual way. It felt like it wasn't meant to be seen at all. This was in 2018, at a McDonald's off the highway in Indiana. The kind of place that had been around long enough for the play place out back to be closed off and forgotten. With a safari mural on the wall, even on bright days, the dining room felt dim. One Friday night after a hectic rush, my manager asked me to clean out the employee locker area. He said the regional rep was coming soon and didn't want them to see how cluttered it had gotten. It wasn't much of a room. A few hooks on the wall, a rusty old bench, piles of uniforms, and plastic trays stacked in the corner. At the very back, under a dusty stack of promotional posters, I found a VHS tape. The label was faded but still legible. McDonald's Training, Orientation, Rev 1999. Below that, written in pen, Do not distribute. Wondering what that meant, I put it in my backpack and decided to give it a watch later that night. Once I was back home, I dug out an old VCR from my closet, hooked it up, slid it in the tape, and pressed play. After some static, a McDonald's jingle played over a bright red title card.
Welcome to McDonald's. You're part of the family now.
A woman appeared standing at a corner, like the one in my store. She wore a red and yellow blazer, her hair perfect, her smile fixed in place. At first it was ordinary, how to greet customers, how to wash your hands, how to keep the line moving. Then the music stopped. She leaned closer to the camera, and the lights in the restaurant dimmed. The camera pulled back to show the dining room, empty now. The corners of the room faded in shadow. Block letters appeared on the screen. Rule 1. Do not explore the play place tunnels after dark. Footage of a child crawling into the play place followed. The colors looked muted, and the boy paused halfway through the tunnel, staring into the dark ahead. The shot glitched for a moment, and I caught a glimpse of something crouched just beyond him. It was low to the floor, knees bent sharply, one hand pressed to the wall. Its skin looked stretched and pale, head tilted toward the boy. Rule 2. If you hear whispers coming from the freezer after dark, close the store and leave immediately. The footage shifted to a wide shot of the restaurant. The freezer sat in the corner with the door open, half hidden behind a pillar. At first it was quiet, then a faint whispering began, soft but impossible to ignore. The camera panned in on the dark entrance, where something moved just out of sight. Rule 3. If the fryer turns on after close, turn off the lights and hide. Do not respond to your headset. Close the store as soon as possible. The fryer hissed and popped, a bulge forming beneath the surface of the grease, and rising as though something was being birthed from the liquid. The tape cut to a series of testimonials. A boy in uniform sat at a table, staring at the floor, his hands clasped tightly.
It's in the tunnels. It's always been in the tunnels.
Next, a woman with a stained apron sat with her head tilted, her eyes fixed somewhere far behind the camera.
I heard it say my name. It's still saying it. I can't make it stop.
When the woman in the blazer returned, her hair had come loose and her eyes were glassy. Her mouth moved silently at first, then she spoke, barely audible.
The rules won't save you forever, but they may save you for now.
Then the screen went blank. I sat there long after the static took over. Maybe it was a prank, someone's idea of a sick joke, but it didn't feel like one. The lighting, the set, the precise corporate tone, it all matched what I'd seen in real training videos when I started at McDonald's. I rewound and watched again, more carefully this time. The next day I brought the tape to work and showed it to my manager. As soon as he saw the label, his eyes widened and I could see the fear on his face. He snatched it from my hands, bolted into his office, and shut the door behind him. When he came back out, his expression was blank.
I don't want to discuss it, but don't tell anyone else you've seen this. Got it?
I nodded my head fearfully. That night, I stayed late to finish up on some extra deep cleaning. Around 11 p.m., the fryer hissed to life on its own. The oil rolled out and spat, as though something was thrashing just below the surface. Suddenly, I received an order from the drive-thru over my headset. Annoyed, I told them we were closed, but heard no response. Walking over to the drive-thru window, I saw there were no cars out there. Then I started hearing whispers. Not from the headset, but from the freezer door behind me. It was my name. And the words, "heart attack," over and over. I froze. The door handle rattled, soft at first, then harder, like whatever was inside was getting impatient. The whispering grew louder. My name again, and then...
Let me out.
The freezer door suddenly flew open, and inside was something I still don't really understand. I could just see the silhouette, but from what I could tell, it was some kind of enormous blob. An amalgamation of different liquids and ingredient slop that we use in our various food items. It just shifted and slurped as it began to chuckle from some undisclosed location. I turned and ran out toward the exit, but abruptly stopped when I noticed the various imp-like creatures peeking out from the play place tunnels in the kids' area. One came closer, appearing more intimidating than the others. It was pale and greasy, crouching down watching me as I panic-walked to the exit, tilting his head and smiling. I honestly don't even remember driving home after all that. I just know that I didn't even lock up and got fired for it the next day. Not like I really cared. I was never going back to that place again. However, sadly, that wasn't the end. For weeks afterward, I kept having these nightmares. Always the same. I'm back at that store, standing in front of the play place. The tunnels stretching on forever, black and slick. The imps there, waiting for me. Sometimes I wake up to find strange little handprints on my bedroom walls. Last week, I swear I heard the freezer door open from my kitchen, though I hadn't been in there all day. And this morning, I went out to my car, and there was a new blank VHS tape sitting on the hood. I'm terrified of watching it, but I'm pretty sure I don't have a choice.